Hello there guys, what's going on? I'm Bryn and I'm the Game Survivor, and today I'm taking you on a journey to the future. Yes, that's right, today we're talking about Battlefield 5. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be jumping right at me and saying, Bryn, Battlefield 5 is going to be this police game, it's going to be Bad Company 3, it's going to be blah 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 blah. Doesn't matter. I don't care what game's coming up next. We all know it's going to be a Battlefield game. We all know it's going to be a first-person shooter. That's all that matters. Regardless of what the game is actually going to be, these are the top 5 things that absolutely have to be in the game or have to be removed from the Battlefield franchise before Battlefield 5 is released. Enjoy, guys. Number 1. The amount of stuff in the game. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of depth here. I've got another video on my channel that I'll link in the description that goes into a lot more depth on this topic, so you can go check that out if you like. Essentially though, every expansion that DICE brings to the game through Battlefield Premium brings a whole heap more stuff into the game that it doesn't really need. Since DICE has to balance a whole ton of weapons that it's added to the game through these expansions, it means that they kinda have to rush the balancing procedure to bring it out in time for the tight deadline that's set by EA. This means that the guns tend to feel a little samey because it's a lot easier and takes a lot less time and effort to make the guns feel similar than it does to make them handle uniquely. Now, I'm going to use Titanfall as an example here, as I do in the other video that you can check out. All the guns in Titanfall feel really good. They feel really unique, they play really nicely, they're all really nicely balanced, and that's because there's a whole lot less of them than there is in Battlefield 4. And this means that the devs can spend a whole lot more time on the intricate balancing procedure that should go into each weapon. Now, obviously, Battlefield 4 and Titanfall are very, very different games, released by very, very different publishers, produced by very, very different studios. But there's no denying that the gunplay in Battlefield 4 and Titanfall are comparable. If not, the gunplay in Titanfall is actually better. Number 2. The awesome map design. Now, if you've been with the series for a while like I have, you'll know that DICE's map design in some of the earlier games was alright, but it wasn't great, you know? But DICE's map design has been really improving over the last couple of games. The map design in Battlefield 3 was way better than the map design in Bad Company 2, and the map design in Battlefield 4 is even a step up from that. I'm going to use an example. Everyone's played Operation Metro, yeah, in Battlefield 3 and in the new expansion. Remember how spammy that map gets in the middle section near the stairways? Everything just sort of devolves into grenade and M416 spam, with no team really making any pushes and no one really having a good time. This is especially relevant in 64-man servers. I suppose the same can be said for Operation Lockers, Metro's Battlefield 4 counterpart, but at least that map has some flanking routes, you know, outside in the snow. DICE's map design isn't perfect, but it's getting a lot better. Hopefully they can carry that across into Battlefield 5 where we can see some maps that really shine. Number 3. Less screen shake. Now, I really shouldn't have to argue this one out with you guys. Everyone knows what I'm talking about here. When you're standing somewhere in Operation Lockers and your screen is just shaking all over the place. You know what I'm talking about? Just have a look at this gameplay. This is just ridiculous. The number of grenades and explosive devices in the game just make the amount of screen shake absolutely over the top. Something needs to be done about this before the release of Battlefield 5. Either reducing the amount of screen shake that happens when a grenade or an explosive goes off near your face, or lowering the number of explosives in the game. Still not convinced though? Again, look at the gameplay. Then tell me, does the game need more of this? Didn't think so. Number 4. You guys all knew it was coming. The Netcode. Yes, I know that's not what it's actually called, but for simplicity, let's just call it that. Anyone who's played even more than 10 minutes of Battlefield 4 will know how aggravating being killed around a corner is. For a first-person shooter released in 2013, a server tick rate of 10 milliseconds is frankly unacceptable, especially if DICE want to break onto the competitive first-person shooter scene. But even more fundamentally than that, whether or not DICE wants Battlefield 5 to be the next MLG, Superstar League game, whatever, it detracts from the fun of the game. It makes people angry, it makes them aggravated, it makes them not want to play anymore, and that's a huge issue that DICE really has to address before the release of Battlefield 5, and I really hope they do. Number 5. Customization. Now, probably like you, I was pretty skeptical about the level of customization that I was seeing in the Battlefield 4 beta. I was a little worried that with all the camos that DICE was bringing into the game, it was going to turn into Call of Duty, but honestly, I like it. Kitting out your weapon to look awesome is a great deal of fun, and while it may not bring a great deal to the game, it's a hell of a good time making your weapon and soldier look as badass as possible. As long as they don't go too overboard in Battlefield 5, customization is good with me. Well, that's just about it from me, guys. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, leave a like. I put a great deal of effort into this video, as I do with all of them. Again, if you liked it, don't forget to hit that big red button to subscribe to my channel. There's a lot more Battlefield 4 content coming your way. But until next time, guys, have a good one. See you later.